Okay, here we go. We are speaking to an empty stage right now, but hopefully we're going to have a few people joining us. We're also going to be featuring all of these episodes on a YouTube channel that we're going to set up soon. You can witness this after the fact, whenever you'd like, at your leisure, consuming snacks if you like, if that's your thing. And anyways, as we start, we have a few little things we need to take care of from the previous episode. First of all, I realized, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't introduce who I am. My name is Mr. B, Paul Bellier. Mr. B is a nickname that was given to me by Brian Honegger, and I've kind of changed it from the B to the BEE. I am living in Toronto. I've been involved in the game since '93. Found out about the game in '93 and fell in love right away. Was a huge supporter of the PDGA from the beginning. Love the sport. Want to do what I can to promote the sport. I've run leagues. I've run tournaments. I've traveled through the States, played in tournaments down there. Met a lot of wonderful people, including our special guest today. Very memorable events. Very memorable times on the tour. Loved it, and I tried to bring what I saw was happening on the cutting edge of disc golf back to Toronto. How do we get out of practice? Well, how do we go live? How do I do that? Where is that? All right, guys. I'm sorry about that, but I've just been informed by my tech support that we have not actually started the webinar yet. Okay. Here we go. We're going to start fresh. For those of you who haven't been waiting, um, welcome to the Good Time Show, the Good Times Hour podcast with your host, Mace Man and Mr. B. I'm Mr. B. Mace Man is somewhere in the vents up there. Hopefully he hasn't got lost in the unexpected blizzard which overtook us as we were planning for this Minnesota disc golf episode. Just to clear up a few items of business from last episode, sorry. My name is Mr. B. I forgot to introduce myself in the excitement and rush to start to get into all the topics that we had to talk about. I've been involved with the sport since 1993. Discovered the game and fell in love immediately, and immediately started. I think I played my first tournament 6 weeks after I first picked up a disc. I actually committed to buying the discs before I'd even seen what they looked like, before I'd seen a course. I just heard about it, like frisbee golf. And it's been a love affair ever since. I've done what I can to try to promote the sport in my own individual way. I've been a player on the tour, very mediocre to bad player on the tour. I've tried to promote the sport. I've run leagues, I've run tournaments. We've run a tour across Ontario. I worked at the PDJ office. For those of you who don't know, 97 and 98, I was the PDJ executive secretary. It was my job to actually input all of the tournament information. At that time, it was all, if you can believe it, a paper copy. People were writing on ink, on paper, and then mailing it into the main office, and I would be the one to then transcribe it on the computer. So some of those early PDJ records saw that data. You're looking, if there's errors, they belong to me. That's my fault. But I wanted to make sure that we got to be able to say hi properly. I met Mace in 1996 when I first went down to Veterans. I was on a bit of a tour around the continent. I actually made a whole box of the continent from Toronto to Vancouver, down to San Diego, over to Key West, and then back up. And in those peregrinations, I came across Mace Man, and we've been virtually separate but inseparable ever since. I call him my best American friend. He calls me his best Canadian friend. And in talking to each other as we always do, we just thought this would be a perfect format to just have some friends talk about relevant issues and bring people together, but also preserve some of the really special stories and history of this game. There are a lot of amazing players, a lot of amazing personalities that are involved in this game that we're some of us are in danger of never having met or heard of these stories before, met these people. And, this is a rich cultural oral history project that we hope to preserve and share and pass along and expand all of our knowledge base and all of our consciousness. So, welcome to the show. Welcome to the concept. And we hope that you enjoy it as much as we enjoy putting it together. It's been a fun project so far. Second on the errata list is last week we had featured disc golf in Oregon, especially the Portland Open, our intrepid pro tourists and our special guest of the week, Joe Rotan. They were all in Portland in the area. And what we totally forgot, we have Avery Jenkins, who is a good friend of ours, good friend, longtime friend of the show, and a really good friend of mine. I asked him, if you're going to go to Oregon, what's the one thing that you need to do before you leave the state's borders? And he said, go to Bend and get a beer at Bevel Beer. For those of you who don't know, Bevel Beer is the hard-working project from the heart of Nate Doss and Val Jenkins, two world champions, and as well Justin Selmer and Sharon Jenkins. And it is one of the best new breweries in the state, which is just boasting tons of breweries. I think Portland itself boasts the third most microbreweries in all of the United States. Not that Portland and Bend are anywhere close, but Bevel Beer does ship. Just remember that. So if you are in Oregon and you are thirsty, definitely have to go check out Bevel Beer. And if you were at the Portland Open, you were there to see the new release of the Holy Shot beer in honor of James Conrad's The Shot, the Holy Shot. We all know what they're talking about. We all saw that on video. James, holy cow, holy shot. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about disc golf in Minnesota, and the episode revolves around the planet of disc golf in Minnesota, the Gopher State, the land of 10,000 lakes, l'Étoile du Nord, the only state in the Union that has a motto in French, and not even Louisiana can boast that, eh? It's the only state in the lower 48 that pokes above the 49. It's a land of short, hot summers and long, cold winters. Hello, Canada. Perfect for ice fishing and water skiing. They take their recreation very seriously in this land of clear blue water. So many lakes, so much crystal blue persuasion. Minnesota is the home of many firsts: Scotch tape, plastic bag with handles, pop-up toasters, water skis, Tonka trucks, the recreational snowmobile, Nerf, the Twister game, and for those of us like me, breathe right nasal strips, and Zubaz pants. Yes, those that only should be worn by professional chefs and professional wrestlers. Anyone else, please abandon the Zubaz. I'm sorry, I don't mean to spike the stock. And also, long winters build better mousetraps. Thank you, Lyle. Let us never forget that UDisc, the worldwide app that we all use, was created by a Minnesotan. Minnesota is home to Prince and Bob Dylan. The state muffin is blueberry. This the official state beverage is milk. So while you're there, stop for blueberry and milk. Or if you're like Avery, you can stop at the Surly Brewery in St. Paul and pick up, well, just about anything will do. But while you're there, that brisket queso looks incredible. As well as second pick is the Northbound Smokehouse in Minneapolis. And you should go check out the cheese curds. Oh my goodness, the description that Avery gave me: aged white cheddar dipped in Belgian waffle batter, fried to a golden brown perfection with homemade ranch dressing dip. I think I need to jump on a plane right now and get there. I don't know about you. So we're going to really try to dive into some interesting perspectives of Minnesota and with our guest tonight. Minnesota is a special place, the home of the Minnesota Frisbee Association, which is one of the longest running disc golf clubs in the entire United States. Minnesota is home to, I think, maybe one or two or third highest per capita baskets per person in the state. It's just a wash with golf, a wash with golfers. The Sundog Leagues, we're going to talk to our special guest about this, who has some interesting insights in all this. The Sundog League is the place to be. They draw hundreds of people every week through the summer. Like, can you believe 100+ people showing up at your league night? That's a show that, and they've been drawing that for years and years and years. So bravo to all those people there. Now we're gonna move things forward a little bit because we don't have Mace Man on the boards yet, and well, nobody wants to just listen to me. So let's bring in Chris and Sarah, our tour reporters, and have them come in and chime in on what we need to talk about this week. Hey guys, there they are. How are you?
What's up?
What's up?
Where are you guys at right now?
We are in Centennial, Colorado. So it is southwest of Denver, about an hour up near Bailey Disc Golf Course, which is where the Match Play Championships are happening this weekend.
Cool. The Match Play. What's going on with that?
Well,
16 men, 16 women. It's pool play. So like, last year with the Match Play, it was just kind of like head to head match, but this year there are 4 pools for each side. So there's there we go. Great explanation there. So it's broken down. Each woman or man has to play everybody in their pool one time, and then the winner, the best record from each pool, goes on to the final 4, and all 4 of them play off in a match play final. So it's going to be pretty thick.
What's on the line here?
10 grand for the winner of the men and 10 grand for the winner of the women. The equity pay for the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
And a lot of these special events, including, yes, exactly. A lot of these special events, including the Pro Tour Championships, the Pro Tour pays exactly the same. So also for the players who were just invited and accepted the invite, they get $1,000 just for showing up.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win, and it's a really fun event. And right. So you could either win $1,000 or $10,000. Let's see how you do.
It's you can't miss. And so I hear, understandably, or I don't understand, but some people have decided to pass this event up. That's free money on the table. Is that right?
Yeah. So these two events this event is situated right between what we're just coming from, the Beaver State Fling as a Silver Series event, and then the Preserve Championships in Minnesota,
Elite Series,
which is an Elite Series event. A lot of players are vying for those Elite Series wins because they have the biggest weights, and they have, in the Pro Tour standings, as well as the payouts are always really, really big.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the elite players have focused more on the Elite Series events and not even played some of the Silver Series events. And we had 16 men and 12 women decline invitations to the Match Play Championships, which is kind of crazy.
It is kind of wild because there's guaranteed money on the board. I mean, it's not all about the money, but at the same time, we saw a lot of the top players competing last year in the Match Play Championship, so it's a little different this year.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. So we're above 8,000 feet in elevation.
Okay.
Right, and I mean, and also, you guys know what that means.
Yeah.
Now, what with you now? I've only had one type of experience. I played Tahoe. Or Reno, sorry. And it was high elevation. It was the first time I'd ever played it. What, if you just give, for those of us who haven't played it, what happens to the discs? What's the physics that goes on there?
The discs become way more stable.
Okay. Do they
so I've completely changed my bag to play this course. Okay. I'm ticking everything down, multiple stability measures in order to throw the shots I need to throw.
Yeah.
And then not on top of that, you're dealing with this, this increased stability in all of your normal lineup, but then you're also throwing up and down major elevation.
Yeah.
You're losing hundreds of feet of elevation on any given tee shot or gaining it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're dealing with a different way your discs are flying, plus just extreme elevation that, is not normal for most of the courses we play.
Now, Colorado does occupy a special legacy in terms of disc golf, the disc golf imagination. and most people have learned about the fact that it's a special place. But high elevation like that, does it make you throw further? Do you feel like a champ just by stepping on the tee?
I mean, I think in flat ground, I would say you're probably not really throwing further, but there's so many opportunities to throw down big hills that you get to throw 500 feet, even though you may only really throw 300 feet on flat ground.
And how's the course playing? Is it in a tough position these days, or have you been
Yeah,
able to get
I
better?
only have one round in so far, but it's a bunch of par threes. We have one par 4 and one par 5. And they're really set it up for a really precise game that requires great putting. So a precise tee game, there's only just the 2 shots that are, well, I guess maybe there's 3. There are 3 shots. There's 2 par 4s and a par 5 out of 12 holes, right? So there's 9 par 3s. That's a lot of par 3s.
Yeah.
Sometimes we play courses where there's only 5 par 3s the whole course,
Okay.
out of 18 holes. And this is a 12-hole matches with only 3 holes that are not par 3s. So what we're really looking for is, accurate tee shots, but then also you're going to have to put the biscuit in the bucket.
Yeah.
Because, and putting feels different out here.
Okay.
Everything stables up a little bit. And, there's a lot of differences that spin putters also, everything's going to tail out a little bit quicker. I don't think people are going to be making a lot of C2 putts. I think they're going to be running them because it's a match play and they may feel like they need to get a stroke or 2 or whatever, but it's.
And you're putting on like up and down hills. All the baskets are sitting on side hills and things like that. So
everything can roll away.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to be enticed to run putts because it's a match play situation and you may have nothing to lose. So you might as well try to make it.
Yeah.
But then also you're going to roll away if you miss.
Yeah.
And so will a spit out or a slight miss, that just hits the basket and then comes down vertical. That's going to roll 60 feet.
Mhm.
Oh,
So it's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Do you guys get Sherpas for each group or something to help you with the tracking down
No,
the
there's
thing?
no carts going on out there. So I have my Zuka cart. So I have like a small bag and I've really pared down the number of discs that I'm throwing at any given time.
So
Yeah.
when we look at this first playoff, well, the tree here, do you guys have specific? Do you want to start with the picks on this? Do you want to get into that?
I mean,
Yeah.
sure, let's go into it.
So the first, what we have there, the 8:30 start there.
Yeah.
This is, look at these names here. You're playing against.
Yeah.
Vanessa
So what
Van
we're going to do
Dyken.
is we're going to pick who we think wins each pool as opposed to winning each match, because I think that saves a little bit of time. So there's 4 pools for each side. So we're going to pick a winner. So Sarah and I will pick one, you will pick one, and then Mace will pick one, and then we'll come back and revisit these later.
Okay, I love it. So
Pool number 1 is on the women's side: Hokum, Vanessa Van Dyken, Owen Scoggins, and Rebecca Cox. So I'm going to toss it to you first because I'm not putting myself on the spot.
well, I have to go with our local homer here. I'm going with Sarah because she knows Colorado, she knows elevation, and I think you look like you're hungry. You look like you're ready for it. Like you look like you're fired up. So
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm going.
I think that's a good pick, Mr. B. Good pick. Good pick. I'm gonna follow up that, and also I don't know. This is probably pretty awkward, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick myself.
Yeah, I don't think that's awkward.
That's
I
not
the
awkward. No,
Not awkward at all.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And I'm going with Hokum too. Like I think this is one of the deepest pools as far as like, I really feel like anybody can win this pool. There's a lot of experience between Sarah and Owen, and then
Right.
Vanessa and Rebecca. Rebecca is such a low seed in this thing. I really feel like she's such a better player than like a 13 out of 16 seed. So she may be coming out here looking to put some respect on her name. But yeah, I'm staying.
Agreed.
I'm staying with Sarah.
Good Birdman reference, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, second pool. Who's the second pool? Is that the?
So that was me, Vanessa, Owen, and Rebecca. The second pool is between Kat Murch, Holly Finley, Maria Oliva, and Natalie Ryan. This one's a bit of a wild card,
Yeah.
Well,
right? We got Kat Murch. She's had a great season, but she's young. I don't know how much experience she has at elevation.
I don't even.
But she is here right now, and she is practicing.
Yeah, she's got a big
So
arm.
she may have gotten a lot of practice in.
Mhm.
Holly, she's got good experience.
Yep.
She's got good distance. She's a good technical golfer, but she's also not getting here till tomorrow.
So she'll be like.
So
late.
she's only going to get 1 day of practice.
Mhm.
We got Maria Oliva, Texas golfer, great with wind,
Mhm.
but Texas doesn't have elevation.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know how much experience Maria has at elevation, although Maria has a really great putt,
Yeah.
so putting is going to matter out here. So if she can get herself close to the basket and make putts, she could come out on top.
Okay.
And then we got Natalie Ryan, she's a big bomber. And but she just coming off an injury. She pulled out of the BSF last week to prep for this event. So I assume she's had a lot of rounds on she may or may not have had a lot of rounds on this. The elevation is going to be something new for her.
Yeah.
But she does throw really far. So she's going to be able to take conservative lines at some of these holes. That may give her an advantage.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
Well, based on your assessment right there, the Sarah report, I'm going with Kat. She sounds like she's on the roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. B is in for Kat. Man, it's a tough one, but I'm gonna go Kat too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little biased. I probably sold that to you a little bit too much.
Wow, you're leading me in the right direction then.
Man, all these picks are the same so far. So I mean, I could stick with chalk, but I'm gonna go a little bit off here. I'm going with Maria.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Maria Oliva.
Yeah.
I want to go with Kat because Kat, like I say, I think she's a 2 seed in this thing, which she's played very, very well this year. But I really feel like
she's a 3 seed.
3 seed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my pick, Maria, and we'll get Mace caught up on all these.
All right, next one is we got Ella Hansen, Deanne Carey, Emily Beach, and Jennifer Allen.
Do you have any inside notes on these guys here, or
Well,
should I go blind?
Okay. So Allen, longest female thrower in the world. That's not even an exaggeration.
Nope.
It's literally the truth. Emily Beach is, maybe not as well known of a name. She's a lefty that's been out there. I mean, since
she also
week 1.
bombs.
She throws very, very far. Deanne, the Diesel, Deanne Carey, was the most traveled player last year. So she's got tons of experience. She's played all over this country multiple times. And then, Ella, everybody knows Ella's come onto the scene and made her name known very easily, very quickly because of her distance. She's probably the youngest one in this pool. So I probably think that experience or the lack thereof is probably going to come into it. She has all the raw physical ability in the world, but she just needs to kind of reel it in and start to figure out when and when not to use it. So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and make my pick as since we finished that. I'm going to go with experience on this. I take that back. I just remembered that she's dealing with a little bit of an injury. Yeah. And so, I mean, the insight there is Jen Allen's been dealing with a little bit of a back injury. She's been rehabbing the heck out of it, but she's flying, flew home and is flying back. So I feel like that could be an impact on that as well. And those are the little things that matter. So I'm going to go with the Diesel.
Okay.
Deanne Carey.
Wow. It's good to know about those
what do you think,
insider
Mr. B?
injuries. I think Emily Beach is just reaching out to me. I don't know. I reached the beach.
Nice.
I love the fix.
All right.
So
early
You know what?
age,
And I'm gonna go experience. I think Jen is gonna she's gonna figure out the back thing. I think she's a physical therapist as her job.
Yeah.
Is she gonna heal herself? And I think her experience is gonna make a difference. I'm picking Jen.
Okay.
And
All right, last pool.
Okay.
We got Missy, Luke, Holland, and Lisa.
So it's Lisa Fakis.
We got Missy Gannon, last year's Pro Tour champ. Had a pretty good season so far. She won one event. Also the number 1 ranked seed in the event right now.
She's a top seed.
Then we got Luke. She's from Scandinavia.
Yeah,
She's
Lawrenson.
been touring this whole year. She got a really fire putt.
She does. She has a very smooth stroke. She's also the highest or the lowest seeded player in the tournament.
The lowest seed. She got in as a 16 seed. And then we got Holland Hanley. who I can't imagine she has any experience at elevation, but she has, she's an athlete.
Yeah, she's been doing big things this
Yeah.
year. We got to see her play.
She's
a
played
couple
really
times.
well at almost every event she's
Mhm.
played.
And learning
and-
fast.
And then Lisa Fakis, who's been on the tour for a
She's
while,
been around forever.
got lots of experience. She's also a really good putter.
Very good putter. And like you said,
Yeah.
putting is going to matter a lot.
Yeah,
I think.
putting is going to matter. And so that's a tough one. I'm just going to go Missy.
Yeah.
That's a boring pick.
Mark
but
me down for that
kinda-
one. When you see the number one seed, you can't help it. You don't want to bet against the house, right?
So is that your pick?
I'm going with Missy.
Missy.
one.
Yep. All right.
All right. And then I'm going to go a little off here. I'm going with Lisa Fakis.
Okay.
All right. Experience.
Yeah. And the putting.
I'm glad
All
you're
right,
ready,
so
Sam.
only first one, everybody picked the same thing. After that, it's all different. So that's
Okay.
good.
Good spread. Now we've got
The
men-
men's
the
side.
men's side here. Okay. So is this the first?
We
group?
got Kevin Jones, Jeremy Colling, Nicola
Damn.
Castro, and Alden Harris.
Look at these names.
I think don't need a lot of explanation there.
No, I mean, who's Alden Harris? What's his deal?
Alden is a prodigy player that's been out here doing it for a while now.
He's got a couple good finishes.
Yep. Solid golfer. Younger guy, but he's got the game. He can compete with any of them. He just hasn't put it together for a full tournament. But this is a totally different format where you just got to win the most holes against your guys. So I don't know. I feel like on this one, I think I'm going to go with Colin.
Colling for Chris.
Yeah. So we need
All right. I'm gonna pick Nico.
Yeah.
I think Nico's played a lot of golf, and elevation has been part of that.
Yeah, I'm going for Nico as well. That
Okay.
Ooh.
The
there's a
four
lot of
seed
stiff
gets.
names in there, but he's just I think he's got it. I think he's still got a lot of fire.
He's always hungry.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, KJ. No offense, man. I think you're awesome, and you'll probably do awesome too. Like-
Maybe this will fire him up and he'll win this and
Yeah, right?
disrupt
Yeah,
us
he's
all.
going to be like,
Yeah, and I love his concerts. Next up, James Conrad, the holy shot man
Holy shot, man.
himself, Aaron Gossage, Bradley Williams, and Luke Humphreys.
So little known fact about Aaron Gossage, he is from Colorado.
Oh,
Yeah, he is from
shoot,
this area.
that makes my pick different.
Yeah, he came in. He's one of these guys that got in because of the drops, and it just kind of dominoed down to him. The guy can throw so far.
Wow.
He throws all of his shots very hard. Putts, drives, all of them are very hard. But he is from this area, so he has probably got the most experience of anybody in this tournament of throwing at this elevation.
Is that who your dark horse is? You go with him?
I mean, I'm gonna break out and just go Conrad. He's on my team. He's got the finesse game like a champion. I'm going holy shot, Mr. Conrad for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, mark me down with the world champ too. I'm
Okay, Mr.
Team
B with the
Conrad.
champ and
I'm gonna go with
Gossage.
Gossage. Yeah,
Okay,
I feel like I'm
I
gonna go
like
with.
it.
I mean, a crazy pick here. So
I like it. All right, next pool we got Joel Freeman, Anthony Barella, Simon Lizotte, and Chandler Fry.
Look at those names.
that's a stacked pool.
That's the pool of death right there. When you look at World
Yeah.
Cup standings, Wow.
Yeah, like you would hate to end up in that pool.
I mean, Simon's just been tearing it up of late, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Who'd
It's-
you say?
Simon.
Simon and Joel.
Yeah, Joel just had some great finishes recently too.
If he was wearing that strawberry shirt, he's hard to beat.
Yeah, he just aced last at the BSF.
So did Chandler.
Yeah, no, Chandler did
We
too.
walked up just as that happened.
Both of them have an ace. in
We
the
walked
last
up.
tournament.
Chandler Fry aces hole 4 at the BSF, and like we're walking up with the women's card as he's clearing the basket as it just happened. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Okay. So
All right, so who's your pick?
I'm going Chandler.
Ooh, I
I'm going
like it.
Chandler. I think he's got that finesse game, and I think he's got a really great mental standing
does.
that will help him with the match play side of the game.
All right, I'm going with Lazat. He's been hot.
Since I saw that foursome right there, Lazat's name stands out. I remember him when he was
Yeah.
15 and kicking ass, and now that he's a new father, I think he's just got even more reason to kick ass.
Hey.
So,
Priorities change, right?
right?
All right, the final pool. So is that our number 1 seed? Is that why you had that?
Yeah, Gannon is the number 1 seed. So the last pool is Gannon Burr, Albert Tam, Ezra Adderhold, and Kyle Klein. Aderhold, excuse me.
And Kyle Klein.
Yeah.
The young gun. 2 young guns.
Yeah, 2 young guns.
Gannon can't even drive.
And then Bazooka Mr. Tam.
Yeah. You got 2 big on, like Ezra and Tom are like the big guys. And then you got the 2 kids and Klein and Burr. So man, that's tough. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Klein here.
Seems
I
like
think he's from elevation.
I know it's probably
Oh.
he's like the low seed, but I think he can do this kind of golf. I think he's used to big mountains.
So Sarah's taking Klein. I'm going with the number 1 seed here, Gannon Burr.
honestly, Kyle Klein, I think he won something big last year. That's the only reason why I've heard his name. Not that I'm any kind of indicator of what anybody should know, but I'm going with the distant early warning signals. I'm going with Kyle Klein.
Okay,
Alrighty.
good deal. We'll get an idea on this pretty soon.
All right, last question though. Who's gonna win it all?
All right, so
We just did the men's. Let's stay with the men's. Who's gonna win on the men's side?
so this is just to remind who he took from each one, right? So he said Nico is playing against Conrad, Simon,
And Kyle. So between Nico, Conrad, Simon, Kyle, who wins?
I'm going Conrad all the way.
Conrad.
I'm going
Okay.
This is the pure voice of ignorance speaking right here.
All right.
But it's a gut instinct. I'm feeling it.
Okay.
What about
All
you
right,
guys? What do you go with?
And then on the women's side, you
Oh, right.
have Sarah, Kat, Emily.
And Missy.
No offense, but I think I'm going to go with Missy. I don't know.
Say
I hope,
Missy?
but I said Missy, but I hope that gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
No, that's a good
sharpness.
pick.
Going with that number 1 seed.
Well, it's an easy bet on the number 1.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm proven wrong.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? This is a game you play, and who knows how it will turn out.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it gets down to the match play level, like that's a different mindset than normal golf, and
It is.
It is.
anything
Agreed.
can happen. It's
Very
playoff
different.
hockey right there for sure.
Yeah. All right. So my picks put me with let's see, on the men's side, I had who did I have? Nico, Conrad, Chandler, and Kyle. Oh, man. I'm gonna go Nico.
Oh, Nico wins it all.
He's an old friend. I think that he's capable of winning this type of event. He's been here enough, he's played enough rounds at this kind of elevation. I think as long as he get that putter going, I think he's good.
Okay,
Good
I
deal.
love it. That's a spicy
All right,
pick.
Chris. So you've
You
got.
can pick a woman.
Oh, I gotta pick a woman. Okay, I know that's awkward. I got. Okay, I picked me, Kat, Jen, and Missy. Dang it,
That's a good card.
that would be a fun card.
That would be a fun card.
You know what? I'll pick myself.
Yeah.
There, you heard it here.
I love it.
All right. And then Chris, you picked from the men's side, we got Coling, Gossage, Lazat, and Gannon Burr.
I'm gonna go crazy. I'm taking Gossage to win it all.
Ooh,
The hometown talent takes it all. And on the
The
women's
local
side,
homer.
I gotta stick with my boozer. Sarah Hogan. That's not even a pick from the heart. That's a pick from the head.
All right. Well,
okay.
those are the early picks. Play starts Friday morning, 8:30 Mountain Time, and
Yep.
you are going to be hitting the course. Actually, it starts at 8 with you. taking
Yeah,
the first.
me and Van Dyken squaring off early.
Well,
It's gonna be a close match. My pool is gonna play pretty close, so it's gonna come down to every little hole.
yeah.
And then in their press conference, all the interviews start tomorrow.
They do. I think 2:00 ish.
Yeah. So check out the Disc Golf Network to hear everybody talk trash about each other. That's what they did last year. It's pretty good.
Are you ready to talk the trash there?
Not yet. I got to think about what I can say that's mean about Vanessa because she's super nice.
She's the nicest person in the world.
So, you got to be like that mean, but it's got to be like funny also, but also nice still.
Yep.
We gotta work on
the art of trash talking. I don't think that I have worked on. I haven't had to work on that so much. So
go watch some Comedy Central roasts. That'll sharpen your pen.
okay, right?
She gets you right.
Right? Good. Yeah. Can you write me a roast? I'll just read it, Vanessa.
Okay.
Blah blah blah.
I'll get sitting under a tree tomorrow and start thinking about some just randomly divergent things. I promise.
That's awesome.
Now, listen, we just got a couple minutes. We're going to wrap up
Yeah.
what we have coming up after this event. You guys are then going to get on the road and drive 17 hours, I believe it was, all the
Yep.
way to the Twin Cities or just beyond the Twin Cities to the preserve. Have you guys been there before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, this will be my first time going, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's a beautiful converted ball golf course.
Okay.
It is now like a full disc golf property, has multiple layouts with multiple courses on the property. Pro shop has a bar and grill and a lot of amenities.
Yeah, Kel's done good.
Yeah, that are great for just like a whole entire disc golf property. And it's really, it has played a lot to the bomber players. Last year, Kristen Tatar won it by 10 strokes. And then on the men's side, who won it?
Ricky won by 1.
Ricky won it by just 1 stroke over Paul, or no, Eagle. And
Eagle
Paul was up there as well.
Yeah, and Nico.
Yeah, and Nico was up there.
He was trying to defend.
So Eagle won't be there this year. And Kristen is coming back from from Estonia to the US. This will be her first tournament back.
Oh wow.
So she'll be fresh off the travel.
Lag.
So but also maybe a little hungry. So yeah, Kristen has a great shot there. We also saw that Kat and Paige and several of the other, and Kona, Valerie, and Alexis Monahondo all skipped this match play to either go home or head straight to the preserve and get some practice in for this Elite Series event. So I really say of those, of those handful of players, whoever can really get the most practice in,
probably got
and that's going to make a big difference.
Well, we thank you guys.
Get out of your way so you can kick all their asses.
Hey,
Oh, what's up,
Nice,
Mace?
man.
I've had a really particularly difficult technology day today, so sorry, I'm a little late. My camera's completely refusing to work, and so it might just be this hazy look that I got here.
You look pretty good to us, and I love the background.
It'll work.
Yeah, well, I'm just throwing.
Hey, we'll get you caught up on the picks after this is all said and done, so that you're ready to go for next week.
Yeah.
The picks? Which picks? Oh, wait, holy shit, this thing's working. And
yes, it is a steep learning curve for the two of us, for sure.
Hey, listen.
That's all right. You can edit a lot.
It's like
These are
my
the joys of
technology
live TV.
knowledge. We're cruising along just fine, just like Thelma and Louise. And when I go off the cliff, go off the cliff.
No, it's picks for the match play stuff. I know you're all about them hockey picks, so you're gonna enjoy match play pool picks.
I'm down.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll get you caught up. I know we only got a couple minutes left on our end. B was kind of wrapping up with us. We'll get caught up with you later, Mace. Good to see you always.
So thanks again, guys.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Safe travels. I know you guys are putting on thousands and thousands of miles. Really, keep the rubber on the road. Safe travels. Be blessed out there.
Thank you.
And Sarah, good luck this weekend. Take it down. You're our dark horse.
Thank you.
know
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Yeah.
Peace out.
So we'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Okay. All
Sounds good.
right, cool. Thank you, guys. So now we're going to move on to the part 3 of the segment. Our special guest, he's now on the screen, as you can see.
Thanks,
In the
man.
land of 10,000 flakes, our next guest is the real deal. So hip it hurts. He's the son of a Spider-Man. All
Jeez.
weird open spaces between oddly placed notes, but still heir to the kingdom of cool, where the grooves grow great and the vibes lead the beat. He's the third funniest guy on this show, the second longest dominator of the Moyer Mystery Madness, and the first guy off the couch and into the jacuzzi. He's a staunch member of the Minnesota Disc Golf Hall of Fame, and he's run decades of the world's biggest league. He's the chili dog, the sun dog, and the all-around dude abiding with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Spidey Boy Koerner.
Yeah, what an intro.
Personalized intro.
You do me great service.
I told you he was a researcher.
Yeah, although I might do a slight correction on one thing. I've never been a huge dominator of the Moyer Mystery Madness. However, I have played it many, many times. It's one of the greatest events around here.
I did give you a little bit of extra extrapolation with the dominance. I do know
There you
that
go.
you're the second longest tenure of the Moyer, the Triple M.
And did I understand that Lyle was going to be around?
No, but I talked to Lyle. I think he's going to be a guest of the show
Good.
later. But
Yeah, he's a great
he's
guy.
fascinating guy.
Yeah.
Low. I think the PDJ number in the 104, I believe, or something like that.
123 maybe.
Like 100 and something. He's
Yeah,
been
like
involved
3
in the game
digits.
forever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he gave me a lot of really great background information on Minnesota, but we talked about you as well. And he went on tangents about, disc collectibles, because he's actually the curator of the Flying Disc Museum, which is, I urge everyone
Right.
to check out.
Right.
But-
And he's also a member of the Hall of Fame. So,
Yep. Lightning Lyle Jensen.
yeah, he's one of the greatest guys around.
But now we have Matt Koerner, one of our oldest friends, great friend of the show, right, Mace?
Yeah, here we are in the
Well,
old time hour.
New friend of the show, old great friend.
There you go.
Very old.
And how you been?
Yeah,
Matt?
this is true.
You doing?
I've been great, and today has been a special treat because it's been so long since I've seen you, Mr. Bellier.
Yeah.
It's been, we were just talking about this earlier. We haven't been face to face for 9 to 20 years, and but always
gonna
fondly in each other's hearts. You're one of the people I miss from back in the day.
Absolutely, you too, man. I mean, traveling to Minnesota, traveling to the Twin Cities, and experiencing Dinkytown, experiencing just the
Yeah.
lounge life at your place there, and then playing the Minnesota Majestic.
God, those
that
were the
was
days.
yeah, really enjoyed that. But
Yeah.
Mace, you go back with Matt. When did you first meet Matt?
Oh, that's
I
a
think
funny
it's-
story.
Oh, please tell.
Wasn't it in 03 probably, or was
It
it
was-
early 04? Or
It was,
it must have been. It was at National Doubles for sure.
yeah, it was at Round Rock. We happened to get
Yeah.
paired up with you and Jerry Gotcher, another great guy.
And you were playing with Wig, right? Or
No,
no,
I
you
was
were with Tim Reith the first year.
Yeah, I had Tim Reith as my partner, and you happened to, you said, "Oh yeah, we know somebody from Minnesota," and some guy was making bets that he was betting his wife that the guy couldn't make the putt, and I said, "I know who that is," and that was Bruce Novak, and Jeff Blunt had been down, and
Oh yeah.
you remember you took us to that party over in Peace Park, and
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
journal. I still got the journal from that.
yeah, that was awesome. That's where we met you, and the rest is infamous history.
In a lot of different places.
Yeah. And you were just up here. It's good to see you. You were just up here, what, 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
I think it's more like 7 weeks now. It's June.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
How
Hey
does
Matt,
that-
it's June.
Yeah, I'm getting to. If you get to be my age, time flies by pretty quick.
You're not that far ahead of me.
Not too far, hopefully. But
So-
yeah. it's
So
been-
Matt,
yeah.
the Sundog League. Tell us
Yeah,
about
let's-
that. That's that you were the director for a while, but that's like
I
a
w-
long running, huge.
Yeah, I
thing.
was one of them. Yeah, it was originally started back in 2003, I believe, by one of Minnesota's greatest volunteers, Greg Reif, and he ran it for a long time. And he wanted especially for it to be fun for the players. And so he did a lot of things that were geared towards the players, and like special trophies that and he took a lot of time out of his life and money out of his pocket to make that league happen for a long time. And it was just fun. And the other part about it was we got to play. It was like a tournament series. We got to play all the courses. It rotated between all the courses in the Twin Cities, and even back then we had a lot of courses. And then let's see. I think if I remember the history right, it was taken over by 3 people after that. That'd be Timmy Gill, Tony McGibbon, and Steve Kindy, I believe. And then, if I got it right, that whittled down to just 2 of them, to Tony and Timmy Gill. And then after a couple of years, I took Tony's place, and we changed a couple of things around, and the website and the stats and everything, and the fact that just disc golf is starting to explode, we exploded. And with a couple of, there was a interesting or a unique thing about the league, that it had flex start very early on. That we had flex start, so you could come and start anywhere between 2 and 6, and then there'd be a shotgun start after that. And that way we could fit a lot of people on the course. So we could literally fit 90 over flex. So we would regularly put, especially around 2009, 2010, where we're averaging 150 people a week. It was ridiculous. There were a couple nights where we had almost 190 people show up. And it was because of flex start that we could do that, because we could get people to come early and start. And then we would put 90, sometimes we'd put 100 people on the course at 6 o'clock. And the flex starters were starting to finish up. And it was just, it was kind of a madhouse. So. But we were able to do it. We streamlined things, we organized things, and we were able to do it pretty well every night, and then every Tuesday night for a lot of years. We did a couple, I think it was 24 events per year, and we kept a ton of stats. That was one of the things that I developed a spreadsheet that just kept a zillion goofy stats, and people loved it. So
you had to be an Excel master.
Yeah, well, that's actually true. They say if you want to learn something, get forced into it by a project you have, and that's how I did that. So
yeah, I know a little bit about that.
Yeah, I bet you do. You are an amazing tournament director yourself, of course.
Well, I wasn't pointing in that direction. I was just talking about like learning as you go, and just trying to pull another rabbit out of my hat. Oh yeah, I can do that.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. You just come up to the challenge and say, "Oh, gotta take care of it," and you learn it and you do it.
Now, were you doing it with computer aid, or was this all pen and paper?
No, it was a computer aided, and I did a ton of, like, I would have 2 or 3 hours of work after league night, just for stats and stuff, and putting everything up on the web page, and I was oftentimes late. But and then before league night, it was a couple hours of just getting there's a lot of documentation, print document cards, and we used the leaderboard so we could get people out of the course and stuff like that. So it worked out pretty well. And to be clear, I came in with Timmy, and Timmy Gill had also had Big Sexy, which was his disc golf truck. And I don't know if you ever saw his truck, but it was a large step van, just well stocked, and it was always at every league. So he people could just come and collect their plaster from last week. That was another thing that we kept all our books straight. Your money was good till whenever. So people would come from weeks later and collect this or collect whatever, And again, it worked out really well. So we'd have a store on site and merchandise production on site, and we could get a ton of people on the course. So it worked out good. And then of course, the inevitable happens. And it unfortunately, around that time that we were exploding, two things happened that started to erode at our attendance. One was just the sheer magnitude of showing up to league, and there's 180 people, and it's just going to take forever to get through awards and stuff like that. But so that kind of turned some people off. They prefer to go play small leagues or just go play for fun or whatever. And also it was as if it was like a wildfire. Suddenly all the parks departments wanted insurance coverage and then wanted fees for the use of the night. So we were literally paying, some courses wanted $200 a night, plus they want us to have our own insurance. So we were, at the end of the year, we were chalking up $5,000 just in fees and insurance to run the league.
Yeah.
And so we had to raise fees, of course, to cover that, and that was another thing that tended to erode. And so just kind of, it just under its own weight, it kind of got a little convoluted and collapsed a little bit.
Sadly, as all empires must, though, right?
Yeah, but it was a good thing while it lasted. And Timmy was a good partner, and it went well.
And is it not going on anymore, or is it in a
I
lesser
signed up.
state?
Well, actually, it just got who is it? Yeah, I think it's Wilder, Jason Wilder. I think asked Greg if he could start up the name again, and I know that last year he did run a Sundog League. I haven't. Of course, I'm not, deeply privy to disc golf stuff anymore. Not just because I don't play that much anymore, but I haven't heard anything about it going on this year. I'm assuming it is. But. And also Chili Dog, COVID kind of killed Chili Dog. I'm assuming you wanted to hear about that too. But yeah, COVID was the killer of all things for a couple of years. So.
Yeah. That Chili Dog was the Winter League, of course, right?
That was the Winter League, and that was that had its own adventures.
Is this truly a winter scene from disc golf Minnesota?
That's that, and we've had days where that's just lightweight. Where the snow on top of the basket would be 6 inches deep, and it would be crazy sometimes. That one I like to keep track of things like what was the coldest we ever played in, or how much snow, or how many injuries we had during the year. We had the injuries for a couple of reasons. One was just because it gets really icy sometimes, real tough conditions, and people would fall and rack their elbows or whatever. But we also had 2 winter parties per year that got a little raucous and caused a couple of injuries out there in the ice. And you know Tim Scanlon, right? That part.
Yeah.
We know Scanny, yes.
Yeah.
I've never heard him named with his first name before.
Oh yeah, Scanny. Yeah, he's probably the worst of it. He broke his leg really bad at one of our parties.
Boy.
Yeah, it was nasty. But it was a great league, and people loved it, and sometimes we'd get as many as 70, 80 people out to play in the snow. And yeah,
I know for some places they struggle to get 20 people on an average night.
Well, we've been disc golf hotspot for a long time. Since the 80s. We've had multiple courses, and in the 90s we had lots of courses. We just started to have a lot of courses developed in 90s and 2000s between guys like Tinny Gill, Chuck Kennedy, Tim Mackey. Those are probably the 3 main disc golf course designers around here.
And now Kale, of course.
Yep.
Timmy Gill, of course, for those who don't really know, you've mentioned his name many times, 95 world champion,
Yeah.
and just a phenom back in the day. And
Yeah.
I'm really glad to know that he's been making some great courses.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, you should look up his video from being on ESPN. He he had to they set him up to talk about disc golf and make some putts and stuff, and he gets there and these putts are like 40 feet, across the sound stage, and they're asking him to show off and make some putts, and he had 5 discs, and he missed the first one, but he didn't miss the other 4. It was pretty badass. So
Nice.
it might have been as little as 35 feet, but yeah, he's just like, man, I couldn't believe they did that to me. It was great. But yeah, that's a great video.
I had never heard about that.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? You were on your video on Let's Make a Deal.
No.
Price is Right.
Or Price is Right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Price is Right.
That was awesome.
That was one of the best Monday Fun Days ever, as far as I'm concerned.
I could not believe you got up there on stage. That was awesome.
The fact that Roddy called your name, Mace. Brian Mace.
Oh,
Come on down.
and Bob Barker too. I mean, it's not they're both not there, so I mean that's nostalgia in itself.
Yeah.
But that was a really and that was a fun day. We Billy Crump was in line a little before 5 a.m. and then when we finally gathered, there was like 19 of us, I think. And man, so we were there in line for like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours, till like 9:30 they turned us loose. So now shoot, we were there for 4 hours, and that's when we went and made those shirts. We went to this party store and bought some glitter and some glue, and Avery had brought the shirts along, and so we played disc golf with Bob was what we did. So I had the W.
Nice.
Play disc golf with Bob.
Yeah, I still got that shirt.
And you
with
had
the name tag on it. Oh yeah.
Okay. The
Yeah,
W for the
totally.
win. I love it.
Yeah, well, it's I got it stashed in the closet.
But honestly, how many humans can boast that they were on stage both with Bob Barker and got to pull the wheel?
Right.
Right?
Like 2 times 5. Well, no, probably like 4 people per segment, so like 8 people times 5 days a week.
Okay, do the math. I was trying to say it's an astronomically low number, but
Yeah.
Well, it's still not that big a number. I mean, it's
Let's
really
just say, how many of my friends have got
There
to
you go.
pull the wheel and be on stage with Bob Barker?
But not
Yeah,
only
well.
that, Mace, like when they went to commercial and you were when they came back and you were on stage, Bob turns to the camera and goes, I was just talking with Brian Moore about disc golf. And then he launches in for like another minute of screen time.
That was one of the things that was really amazing about him was I felt like it's like after the first talk with him, I felt like I spilled the beans pretty well, and you look back on it and I did, but then when they it's interesting that you mentioned that because he had been asking me a bunch of questions before they came back to us, like when they were looking at all the showcase stuff, and he comes back and he goes, I'm learning more about this disc golf from Brian, and he asked me another question and another question and another question, and they were just pulling more information out. And I was like, wow, this guy's really good at his job. He's really, he knows what to ask in order to get you, like he just puts you in a spot and then it's time for you to spill the beans,
Yeah, been doing it for a while, huh?
Yeah.
He's been spaying and neutering for quite a while.
Quite a while.
So Mace, do we have any? I know that we didn't have time for you earlier, but you wanted to talk quickly about this year's Majestic. Matt, you ran the Majestic for several years.
I did for 5 years, from 99 to 04.
And now it's who's the TD now?
And now it's I think it's Jason Wilder.
Okay, and it's still a big event. It's just not happening at Poja.
Right. Actually it was up at Blue Ribbon Pines. And
that place is amazing.
What's that?
I've heard that place is amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't been there, haven't played it, it's pretty magical. Ray Jordan is yeah, it's something happened to him several years back, and he was just all about disc golf, and he's got a huge piece of property, beautiful piece of property that he's got 27 holes on, and
Nice.
he's got an actual, and I only just barely got to see this thing as I was passing through. It's amazing. It's like a small putting course with baskets. It's 9 holes. It doesn't take up much space, but it's like, challenging putts, and it's right in the middle of the course. Also, right in the middle of the course is a bar and restaurant. Yeah, seriously, I think it's 18th hole and maybe 9th hole. I bet there are several holes that congregate or pass by the bar and restaurant. Yeah, it's a magical place.
I've heard that BRP is, I think, rated number 3 in the United States in terms of like top courses. So
Would not doubt it.
Alright.
Would not doubt it. They've gotten a lot of great accreditation. So.
now, Mace, you were telling me who won this year?
Well, the two that I know off the top of my head were Daniel Polk. I believe he plays MP40, and then Greg Barsby. But
Yeah,
there were
Barsby.
several, and I maybe Gene LaForge, but maybe not. I don't remember. I've read the names at one point, but it didn't stick. But
it was Barsby that you picked up on.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I saw
Yeah.
Daniel in his first, but yeah, they posted on Facebook and everything, and Barsby just lives a little bit east of here now, and about 90 minutes east, and I already extended an invitation to him to go to a Stars game this fall or in this winter or whenever when he's back in town, and I'm gonna have to let him know that he can't wear that jersey over there.
Because
However, I
Is that
will
a
say
problem?
that is definitely a top-notch cool trophy.
so what is it? What did he win?
Oh, it's a Minnesota, it's a white Minnesota Wild jersey with the cat right on the front, and then it says Majestic 22 on the back.
Okay.
And that's
So-
pretty sweet. I think that's really cool.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
they I'm sure Paul will argue with you, but people in Minnesota pretty much feel like they invented hockey, and so
They feel like it. They feel like it. That's true.
Yeah, well, we're still sore about the Stars, so
I know.
don't start.
Well, yeah, but like I think a lot of people got, and I think there's good reason to get over that. I mean,
Yeah,
it-
of course.
it's I mean, Bill Guerin's a solid GM, and
Oh, he was
You
a
know what I mean?
solid player.
yeah, he was great.
So when I had my Nintendo on tour, I used to play the Oilers from I think it was the '96 lineup with Bill Guerin and Doug Waite. Oh, I was
Yeah.
unbeatable with those two. So hopefully he's going to
remember-
translate that into real success.
I remember you in that game too.
Yeah, so do I.
But so Barsby, he's living in Texas. He's a California emigre, and has he taken all things Texas so far?
I don't know about all things Texas, but he's buying some land and he's working on a course out there. He told me, and so I think he's looking at. I don't know that I kind of got the impression he still had some more land that he wanted to get in order to do exactly what he wanted out there. But that's been pretty popular out that way, pretty much east of Dallas on. There's probably, there's Hideaway and Sailor Ranch, and there's a couple Harpoon Larry, which is and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the name right now, but it'll come to me in a second. But there's probably 5 different guys out there going that direction, or maybe Barsby would make the 5th. But they're putting in some courses out there, and they're doing it in the woods, because that's out east of Dallas is where the woods are in Texas.
There's woods in Texas.
Woods, well, maybe not what you consider woods, but like Texas woods, it's piney.
Scrub.
It's pine forest, so but it's
They get taller
it's
than
where that
6 feet.
forest starts. That
Well, It's East Texas, so it's close to the bottomlands, right? So there's got to be some greenery there, right?
I suppose getting close to the Arkansas, Louisiana.
yeah, there you go, exactly.
I mean, Texas has always pretty well led the states in terms of total number of disc golf courses, right? That was one of the early. I think they were the first to 100, weren't they?
They were, yeah, definitely. Texas was the first to 100, and I used to do a commemorative stamp for that through Mace Man, and I don't remember the last number it was, but had such a lead to start, and it helps that there's more land in this state than any other. So, California would always be a pretty close second. But I haven't looked at that in a long time. I'll have to check that out.
But Matt, now I think nowadays Minnesota's got to rank up there in total number of courses.
Well, we were always towards the top, but after Texas passed us, and then I forget who it was. It might have been. It could have been California, could it? But yeah, I still think we're somewhere around third or something like that. But something he said reminded me. I forgot about another event that I used to run that was kind of fun. Was the Mad Dog. And so that was a once a year event where I think first year was 126 holes in one day at 10 different courses.
Wow.
And so yeah, tee off at the first course at 6 a.m. or actually 6:30, and then we got done at the last course right around dark, and at 9:30.
I was gonna say you do that in July, probably.
The height of the summer, it's you got 15 or 16 hours of daylight. Yeah, so
Summer solstice time.
and the winner shot 63 down, I think, for the day.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have felt like a winner just finishing.
I know, right? I know. Well, to be fair, we did use short tees on all the courses, but still 63 down is pretty awesome. I shot 47 and thought I was doing great, but it was awesome.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
marker for any tournament right there. You don't have to tell how
Yeah,
many
pretty
holes you
amazing.
played it on.
63 down in one day. Yeah, how often does that happen?
I had a hard enough time playing 36 holes in one day, and like something remotely like similar to decent, and like there's no chance of me shooting 47 down on 125 holes.
Well, back in the day, maybe.
How much travel was between all those 10 courses? Was it
And
like
actually not much, because we had so many courses right around the metro area. So, I mean, I guess the greatest distance between any two of the courses would probably be somewhere around 25 minutes,
wow,
something like that. So
that's just amazing, especially for people who are coming or listening or joining us where they're playing in places where they've got one course in 100-mile radius.
right,
It's like,
right.
they got 10 courses in 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we had the professor, Chuck Kennedy, used to just be a mover and shaker, and he got a lot of courses put in back then in the 90s.
Well, I mean, a lot of the older players or the more professional or upper level players may look at the installation of a new course that may be geared towards beginners and poo-poo that. But you need that to get people into the game to start
Yeah,
having the momentum to eventually get
exactly.
the champions coming.
It's part of the farm system. It
great way to
really
put
is.
it.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
And that's exactly what Sundog was, because we considered ourselves a tournament series. People took it seriously, and we had world champions, and we had people that were out there, because of Sundog. They were out touring, and I mean, guys like Noah Mindsma used to be a dogger. He's out on tour right now. He won last year's Majestic, I think it was.
Oh, right. Yeah, I saw the pictures of him.
Yeah. I don't know if if you ever meet the guy, he's one of the nicest guys that you could ever meet. But yeah, so I mean, that's the point being that there's a farm system out there, and it includes those little teeny courses to get the kids and the families out there, and they start getting the bug and want to maybe play better, or want challenge, and then they
get more.
Yep, and then when they learn about how good competition is for their game, they start playing league, and then wow, suddenly there's this whole new world out there.
Yeah, and it's not like if you get 100 kids to play, all 100 will progress up the ladder. You get smaller and smaller numbers. But if you can get 2 or 3 out of that big pool that
Yeah.
become even just tournament level players,
Yeah.
that's forward progress right
Yeah,
there.
that's definitely something. Yeah, and we it was really fun for me to see, uh, a kid come up through the ranks in intermediate and then advanced at Sundog, and then in next year he's playing pro and getting older, and and suddenly he's an adult, and it was just really fun.
Start as a sun pup and they end up a real sun dog.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of the greatest things about that.
Right.
So
Well,
you played a lot of divisions in that then, right? I mean, it wasn't just all.
Right, it was um, five main divisions. We would try and run a junior division if they would show up, but we didn't have a lot of kids at the time, so they would play intermediate, that sort of thing.
Right on.
But yeah, five of the main divisions, and God, oh yeah, like it was kind of a crazy thing, keeping books and everything at the end of the year. It was a $30,000 in and out budget to run that thing. It was just, all those entries add up, I guess. But
So was it every other week, like through the summer months, or what? Or like
every
through the
week,
middle 6 months of the year?
every Tuesday from basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We
Oh,
started.
okay.
It was before Memorial Day. We'd start in April as soon as there was enough sunlight to we would start early in our to get in. We'd squeeze in the rounds early in the year, but as soon as the sunlight picked up, yeah, we had no problem.
what's the ground like at that time of the first couple of rounds? Is it still frozen? Is it still, are there
No,
patches of snow on the ground?
by April, it's not frozen, but of course, erosion is always a big problem on a lot of courses, and if a lot of people are using them, and it's really muddy or mushy, for days or weeks on end because it's springtime, that can be pretty tough on a course. And so there are, certain course directors would ask us not to play there or whatever, but that's kind of impossible. We'd set our schedule well in advance, and just there were a couple of times where, are the baskets going to be in place, when we get there, that sort of thing, but we never ran into a big problem. We let's see, I think only once did we ever have to call it a sundog out of all those years. It was for weather.
Okay.
We had such crazy weather that there was such a huge score differential. It just wasn't fair to the to half the players, to have to compete with people who played in perfect weather.
Okay. So like a front comes through and the people who played
Yeah.
beforehand, they're like, oh, this is paradise.
Yeah, they played in paradise and they're shooting way down, and then it was literally such a deluge, and it was on a new course that my group got lost, and we were on the back nine, and we did not know how to get back to the parking lot. We
Wow.
couldn't see the paths because they're kind of overgrown, and luckily we ran into McGill, the course designer.
It's like when Livingston met Stanley in the middle of the,
Yeah, exactly.
know,
Yeah, exactly. Timmy
Timmy
Gill,
Gill,
I
I
presume.
presume.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this has been magical time. I hope we've been able to just scratch the surface of Minnesota, but you are a real treasured, cherished old friend.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of gabbed a lot, but thank you.
That's what you're on for. We want you to gab.
Good.
I want you to give her, and I hope that everybody finds you as interesting as we find you, right, Mace?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, listen. Okay, so listen, I have one more question, because this is one of our main themes through the whole show, no matter what segment this is in. But like, we're gonna bring back Monday Fun Day. I
Okay.
mean, it may just be a bunch of old farts hanging out on Monday Fun Days in these but we're gonna do a couple Monday Fun Day events and just get together and do non-disc golf stuff and try to get everybody involved. But so I remember I have a very memorable Monday Fun Day, and I just saw Avery last weekend. He happened to be in town designing a course, And so he came out on Saturday night when we were running the Zebos Open. And I reminded him of this conversation that we had. We went to the quarry from up by St. Cloud on Monday Fun Day. I don't know if you were on that trip or not. Do you remember that?
I was not.
Okay,
so I
know a
pretty
bunch
sure
of
I
us
remember
went,
it.
and Avery rode with me. You know, still back in the green van days, and that was the first time that year I told him, I go, yeah, I'm not going to Worlds, and he's like, you have to go to Worlds. You got to go to Worlds. You know, blah blah blah. And so like that conversation really stood out with me. But the reason I mentioned this more so importantly was like, okay, so the quarries are a great Monday Fun Day kind of thing. What's a Monday Fun Day thing in the Twin Cities that you would say is a can't miss before you move on to the next city next week?
Let's see. I don't know. One thing, if you're into putt-putt golf, we have one of the nicest putt-putt courses around played here. It's all grass fairways.
Wow.
With sand traps.
What?
Yeah, seriously, they've got all grass fairways. These undulating
like green grass. And when I say
Yeah.
green grass, I mean like the grass on the putting green. That
Yeah,
type of grass.
yeah. It's
No.
like cut super short. Yeah, it's like in these undulating fairways that go up in hills and stuff with little sand traps off to the side. Seriously, and it's super fun. Plays along a little man-made body of water, and for for some to do, it's super fun. It's a tough course, and like I say, it's really the only one I've played like that with the long grass fairways. I know there's others out there, but that's the only one I have.
Wow.
Interesting. I've never even heard of that. I'm definitely interested in that now.
Yeah,
Got
you
kind of
should
reason to come back to the PC.
Yeah.
Besides Hazelwood. Hazelwood was awesome too.
Hazelwood. You mean the recovery
I ended up
center?
eating there twice and then getting dessert once, and a cocktail.
Oh, that place.
Yeah, that place where we stayed when you went to one of those meals.
Yep, that was good.
That was really good.
That was good.
Hazelwood. Just putting a plug in right across the street from the Mall of America. Skip the Mall of America. Go to Hazelwood.
Go to Hazelwood. Unless you want to go do the roller coaster at the Mall of America.
Well, that was, I met Scanny there, and I couldn't believe how many people were still going to that mall, because like nobody goes to the malls around here.
Right. It's a big place, and maybe they're all tourists.
They probably, even if they are, still there was lots of people there.
That's pretty amazing.
It's cheaper than going to Disneyland.
In April. Yeah, well, it's smaller than Disneyland too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, once again, Matt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Super nice talking to you guys.
Super awesome to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so good to see you again, Paul, after all these years.
Buddy.
Mr. Bellier. Yep.
Well,
Super.
I'm gonna get him on this side of the border and sometime in the not too distant future. So, but you'll probably have to travel to be a participant. So, just keep it in mind.
I got one question for you and then one statement. Question has you nuts. The statement. Watch your botch.
Watch your botch.
All right, Matt. Thank you. Really, you light up the life. You've done so much for disc golf. You've been under the radar for a lot of people, but we're so happy to put you in front of our show, and hopefully people will find out about Matt Koerner.
Well, like I said, I'm honored that you guys even thought of me. It's been super, super cool to talk to both of you.
Well, thanks for working on no notice.
I know, right? I'll play the catch-all weight.
So thanks again, Matt. Thanks for everybody out there for participating. Mace Man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you couldn't be with us right from the start, but we're gonna
shout out to my son Nick, because I know he's listening.
Nice.
Yeah,
I apologize. I totally misunderstood the start time tonight.
No,
I thought we were going even later.
I'm just glad we figured it out in time.
Better late than never. Anyways, Matt, until we see you again,
Yeah.
stay true, stay you, stay blue, stay awesome. Okay, pal?
Mace Man, Bellier, hope this means I'll talk to you sooner than later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right on, dude, for sure.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys.
Hey, have a good one, man. Thank
See
you.
you, fellas.
Have a great show. Have a great afternoon, great evening. And if I don't see you, have a good morning.
Is it the afternoon in Hawaii right now? Is that what's going on?
Somewhere in the world, it's happy hour.
Peace, love, and understanding.
Yeah, right on.